I have entitled this video on how to have a perennial revival. But it is not my purpose to lecture on this subject per se, but what I can do is give an account of what I was privileged to be a part of over 70 years ago at the First Baptist Church of Fort Worth, Texas, where J. Frank Norris was pastor for over 44 years. Sunday after Sunday, I witnessed of upwards of 100 people walk the sawdust trail and enter into the baptismal waters, new converts drawn from all parts of the city, and many fresh from the lesser desired parts of the city. From this vantage point of 2011, I believe that I have a clear understanding which explains this phenomenon. The pattern is laid out in the book of Acts, which records the facts of 3,000 souls being added to the church in such a short period of time. The method recorded in Acts never changes. What is seen on the surface is not always an accurate picture of the real story. I have tried to relate the inside story of the ministry of J. Frank Norris, with whom I had the privilege of observing up front. 25 years to be exact. The force of his personality was indeed overpowering. But as I will show in a later video, J. Frank Norris had the unique ability, in a timely fashion, to defer to others when the situation called for such an act of deference. Also in a later video, I will be relating a fascinating experience Norris had in 1911 in Owensboro, Kentucky, the account of which revealed much about the man, of which most people have never heard of. The electrifying stories you may have heard of J. Frank Norris comes out of the charged atmosphere prevalent at the Wednesday night prayer services. I underscore that phrase, the Wednesday night prayer services. Every sermon preached had at its core what Norris had heard from a whole host of fervent soul winners. His spirit was buoyed from testimonies like that of Mr. Masters, who was a real live person, who never failed to win a soul each and every week. He was only a lowly paid street sweeper, but it was men like Mr. Masters, whose every word and actions brought nothing but hearty amens. It was workers like Mr. Masters that supercharged these Wednesday night prayer services, not by a lot of small talk, but reports of successful soul-winning efforts. It was from the book of Acts, chapter 5, which lay at the root of whatever success may have been the outcome. Individual soul winning will change the atmosphere of an otherwise lukewarm church. The experiences that a soul winner encounters will make for godly conversations when the assembly comes together, just like it was in the book of Acts. Soul-winning reports will give an uplift to any congregation, and when bathed in tears, will touch the heart of the entire church. Friends, I think you will agree with me that America needs a genuine spiritual revival. And I must hasten to say that it all begins with each of us, me and you who are listening. And my hope is that each of us will pray that God will condition us and give us the desire to reap the harvest while it is yet day. For Jesus has said, the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. Friends, this simple story of salvation begins when the seeking soul is driven to pray the sinner's prayer. If you want to be a soul winner, tell people about the simple story of the sinner's prayer and repeat it over and over again. What is that sinner's prayer? Simply this: Lord, be merciful to me, a sinner. And that's my testimony. I say to each one, He has never failed me. That's why that at my age 90, I delight in telling you the story over and over again. So listen to these words, and I try to give you in song my testimony. In loving kindness Jesus came, my soul in mercy to reclaim, and from the depths of sin and shame, through grace He lifted me. From sinking sand He lifted me, with tender hand He lifted me, from shades of night to flames of light. Oh, praise His name, He lifted me. Now on a higher plane I dwell, and with my soul I know 'tis well. Yet how or why I cannot tell, He should have lifted me. From sinking sand He lifted me, with tender hand He lifted me, from shades of night to flames of light. Oh, praise His name, He lifted me. I thank you for listening, and tell your friends about this video. We're thankful and grateful for the great response and reports that we've had from people who are listening in Russia and Africa, the Philippine Islands, and Canada, and from all over the United States. May God bless each one, and may God make a soul winner out of everyone who listens to this video. Pray for me as I try to carry on this work of bringing to your attention the memories of a great man that I greatly adored, J. Frank Norris. Thank you so much for listening.